Merry meet and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. A general reading for all signs for today, the 10th of March, 2023. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Jennifer and the lovely Honeypaw, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Heather. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us today for this general reading for all signs. Today we are reading with this Tarot de Maria Celia. And let's purify with this Verbena by Monotheme. They were out of this, so they've just re-released it. So 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. You can find out information about how to purchase these products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 10th of March, 2023. It's going out to everybody, whether you're watching live or on a restream. It does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, you can just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, all of which are available on my YouTube and Twitch channels for restream. I don't read with card reversals, and I just like to mention that because sometimes people aren't used to seeing that, and it's just my style of reading. I got into the habit of doing that years and years ago because some of the decks that I read with are old and they are not reversible. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/ArielGatoga. paypal.me/ArielGatoga. If you're watching live on YouTube, you could use a super sticker or super chat if you feel like giving a donation. Oh, you can't. I'm sorry. That's sort of a a habit of mine. We don't have super stickers or super chats yet available on YouTube. I'm sorry about that. Those are coming. This is a new channel. We've just split off from our main channel, so you can't do that. So if you want to give a donation, it's at paypal.me/ArielGatoga. But we do have a shop, and that's at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We sell all these tarot decks and all kinds of other stuff there. It's an affiliate store, and we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support. Let's just shuffle this up a few more times. Oh yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without any ads simply by subscribing to us there. All right, I think one more shuffle ought to do it. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you being here. One clean cut there, Ariel. Oop. It doesn't want to be clean. There it is. Let's see what's going on with everybody today. We've got this Strength card, the Pope card, and the 3 of Swords card. Okay, so many of you have been very sort of diligent about uncovering hidden beliefs in yourself, kind of like being introspective, really trying to work on yourself, maybe working through inner fears and things like that. And what's happened to some of you is you've lost your focus on the internal and started to focus on the external. And the way that this manifests a lot of times is, you work a lot on on yourself, and then you say, yeah, but I got to put that on hold because out here is what the reality is. And the out here that many of you are dealing with is authority figures and people in power and the feeling of being powerless. And see, the reason why we feel powerless is because we've taken our focus off of ourselves and we've put it on this apparent authority figure, which is understandable. But you see, when you're feeling powerless in the presence of an authority figure, and again, authority figure doesn't necessarily mean a single person. It can be a company, it can be a government, it can be a lot of things. But when you take your focus off yourself and you put it on that external authority figure, then you basically are claiming to yourself that your power is less than. That you have less power. Think about that old David and Goliath myth. See, David didn't in that. It's just a story. I'm not talking about anything religious here. It's just a story. But what I love about the story is David never questioned David's power. David never said, "Oh, that's just too big. That's too big of a deal for me," and said, "No, I've got this." And see, you've got this too. You've got this. You're not at the effect of whatever this is that's worrying you. And see, many of you, I think, are going through some grieving. There's a lot of, this 3 is grieving of loss. Many of you are, have dealt with a lot in your lives, and you're in the process of grieving. But see, when we are in the process of grieving, we sometimes erroneously get this idea that makes us less powerful, that we have to sort of retreat from our power in order to, move through whatever this loss happens to be. Everybody's got loss in this world. And that's not true. You don't. It's actually when you own your grief, you become more powerful. When you own your grief, you're less susceptible to the power of other people. When you can really allow yourself to not run away from what you're feeling and really turn and face it, then those things that you've been running away from become power centers for you. And so that's the stone that kills the giant, right? That in that story is your power of not running away from your feelings, not believing that the externals have power over you, and really owning what you're going through, even if it's painful. Because even that's one of the manifestations of grace in this world, is that even our pain, even our problems, even the things that are so apparently bad in our lives, when we own them and we can really turn and face them, they can be transformed into sources of power for us too. Not just the things that we think are great and wonderful, but everything can be used for our benefit if we will own it, if we will turn and face it, if we will not give up our power. Okay, so then we've got this 8 of Swords that's talking about when you started to turn away from yourself. This Wheel of Fortune, which is what this authority figure is hiding from you. And then this Empress card, which is the truth about what's behind all of this sorrow. So the ego mind, if you will, is that part of our own selves that likes to snow us, that likes to lie to ourselves, to make us believe that we're not powerful, that makes us believe that we're less than, that makes us believe that we're not worthy. And you are worthy. And you see, what happens is, as you stop turning away from yourself, when you stop believing that which is outside of you is more important than that which is inside of you, once you move away from that and you turn and face things and you turn and honor your own inner growth and your own pain and all of the things, no matter what it is, whether it's joyful or painful, whatever it is, if you turn that focus back on yourself, what you find is that these authority figures that you're so worried about were just apparitions. They have no power over you. What's hiding behind that, and what the ego is trying to keep at bay, is a great expansion of good. And that's why a lot of times when the ego gets activated, when we start being afraid and we start putting the kibosh on ourselves, and we start believing that the problems are real, that's because the ego is trying to, and because we've programmed it this way. Remember, it's just a habit of thinking. It's not a force outside of us, trying to destroy ourselves, trying to keep at bay our expansion of good. And see, behind all of this sorrow, behind all of this grief, is great poise, is great prosperity, is great expansion of your good. And moving through those sorrowful feelings is the way to get to the prize, the way to get to your goal, not by running away from them. And definitely not by giving this authority, whatever this thing outside of you is that you think is so much more powerful than you, giving that the power. Reminding yourself, no, the power lies within me. What happened was there was a great deal of, this is another tool of our own egos, is the power of worry. So the ego likes to get us to worry about problems that seem unsolvable. And when we do that, then all of a sudden we say, oh, I don't have time for this work on myself. I have to get busy out here. I have to appease the powers that be out here so that I can get some crumbs, so that everything isn't worse than it is. That's what the ego has to offer us, is maybe it won't be worse. Right? But in reality, if we listen to spirit and we say, no, we're not going to take the bait. We're not going to put the focus out there. We're going to keep the focus in here. Then we ride that power of transformation that is constantly happening. See, look at her. She's turning and facing this fear of hers, and look at what that fear is doing. It's in her lap. It's saying, oh, I can help now. I can help you. Because she's no longer resisting that fear. It's turning into her ally. She's taming that beast. She's learning to train that into a beast of burden rather than something that's always nipping at her heels that she's running away from. Right? And that's what you've been doing and what you need to continue to do. And that includes these negative emotions, and that includes this fear of what's going on in your life out there. Because behind what your fear is about what's happening there is something very different than what you think it is. What it is great expansion of your good. It's great prosperity. So within your sorrow, within your pain, it's time to find poise within your pain. I am poised within my pain. And that poise is what is the power that pulls you up out of that pain, that transforms that pain, is a better way of looking at it. Because you're not running away from the pain, you're transforming the pain. And then that pain, that sorrow, that grief, it turns, you get the benefits from it. A lot of people avoid certain things because they are painful, but even at the same time, on the other side of the pain, there's great benefit. There's great strength of character. I mean, I don't love going through grief. I don't love grieving, but I can tell you that a lot of the grieving that I've gone through in my life, when I've not avoided it, when I've actually gone through it, has made me so strong, has really purified me, has given me more compassion toward myself and other people. And it's through those energies of compassion and strength that this prosperity becomes a natural outgrowth of it. So there is great reward in accepting whatever it is that you're going through. The other great reward comes from not believing everything you see and not believing what everybody tells you. So this Pope card can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it basically is the thing that you think is more important than you out there. The thing that you think is more powerful than you out there. The people that you think are smarter than you out there. Again, that doesn't mean that they're bad, wrong, or that you don't have something to benefit from them. But the attitude needs to change. The attitude needs to be, I'm going to put my focus on myself right now, today. I'm going to put my focus on myself, not on whatever is out there. And I'm going to allow myself to feel what I'm feeling, to go through what I'm going through, and to get all the benefits that are on the other side of it. So it's a beautiful day. I know that some of you are going through some sorrow. I know that some of you are going through some pain, and I'm very sorry about that. I don't love that for you. But on the other side of that sorrow, there is great benefit. And that is not going to come to you if you just pretend like you're not feeling what you're feeling, or that you put the focus on other authority figures out there and you just and you make what you're going through less important. So right today, you're the most important person in the world, okay? For you today. And what you're going through is really important for you to be present with and to accept those benefits and those gifts that are waiting for you on the other side. All right, I will be back for another general reading tomorrow. Thank you so much to the amazing moderator team. Today we had Jennifer, Honeypaw, and Heather. On YouTube we had the lovely Jennifer and the lovely Honeypaw. And on Twitch we had the lovely Heather. I'm sorry if I forgot to mention that earlier, but I was a little bit out of sorts, and I'm back in sorts now. So we'll see you all tomorrow for another general reading. Blessed be.